My husband keeps badgering me about an inheritance after my parents' recent deaths. Hello, Reddit talkative here. My parents' accident happened about a month ago, right in the middle of the holidays. It was like the universe decided to throw a wrecking ball into my life. My dad was gone instantly, just like that. My mom held on for a few days, mostly unconscious in the hospital, but it was like her spirit had already left. She passed away a few days later. The grief has been overwhelming. My brother and I were on opposite sides of the country, which makes it even harder. We rarely see each other, and now we're both drowning in this shared but separate pain. He's been the one dealing with our parents' finances, and honestly, I'm beyond grateful. I can't imagine having to add that kind of pressure on top of everything else. He works in finance, so it's second nature for him. For me? I just wouldn't be able to handle it. Then there's the house. Zillow says it's worth around $1.5 million, but my brother bought it for them during the pandemic. I didn't contribute a dime. My parents were covering utilities and maintenance, but the house? It's my brother's, plain and simple. It was his gift to them, and as far as I'm concerned, it should go to him now that they're gone. But my husband, he has other ideas. He's been pushing, about how we deserve half the value of the house. I get that we're not exactly rolling in money, but the way he keeps bringing it up, it's like the only thing on his mind is this imagined inheritance. He doesn't seem to care that my brother paid for the house. My parents might have lived there, but the financial burden? That was all my brother. It's getting to the point where every week, sometimes multiple times a week, my husband is on me about it. I've tried everything to get him to stop. From, I don't want to talk about this while I'm grieving, to, it's my brother's house, end of story. But every time I say something, it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. I think the real issue is that my husband's resentful. He's always had this weird attitude about my brother's success. 2 years ago, we spent the holidays at my brother's house, the first time my husband had met my family in person, and he made some snide comment about how nice it must be to be rich. We all laughed it off, but now, those comments aren't so funny anymore. Lately, my husband's been making it sound like my brother is a hotshot banker who's screwing me out of what's rightfully mine, like he's stealing half of my inheritance. It's so far from the truth, it's absurd. My brother and I didn't grow up rich, we struggled, and I'm proud of what he's accomplished. But every time my husband throws out these jabs, we end up in a huge argument. Not just about the house, but about everything else too. The worst part is, he's using the fact that we're trying to start a family as ammunition. The money would help us so much, he keeps saying. I get that, I do, but I don't care about the money. Even if I did have some claim to the house, I'd give it all back to my brother in a heartbeat. He paid for it. He deserves it. But my husband doesn't see it that way. He started saying things like, we're married, so it's not just your decision. Half of that inheritance would be mine too, and it makes me sick to think about. When did he get so greedy? It's like I'm seeing a side of him I didn't know existed, and it's making me question everything. I'm not looking for legal advice. I don't need financial advice. What I need is a way to get through to my husband before this obsession over money destroys what's left of our marriage. Because right now, I'm starting to seriously rethink our future.